Hey, this is Coach Jasmine from Audience of One Fitness, and today I wanted to talk about mindset, and more importantly, I wanted to talk about our thoughts. What we have between our ears is really precious real estate, and you absolutely have authority and control to allow what takes up residence there. And I know sometimes we get things that just pop into our head, that might be a bit out of our control, but then you have the authority on what you're going to allow to stay and linger and germinate there. So, why is that important? Well, our thoughts dictate our words, and our words then produce actions. And ultimately, that becomes the trajectory of our life. And if we don't get control of our thoughts, our life is going to go in a direction that is not in alignment with what we want, and it's not our purpose and ultimately our fulfillment. To back the train up even more, what dictates our thoughts? Where do they come from? It's really our belief system. So let's think about, like, what do I believe? What do I believe about myself? How much worth and value do I give myself? How do I view other people? How do I view this world around me? Is the world and all these people out to get me? Are they an enemy that I need to be really careful and cautious of? Or am I embracing a life of adventure? How do I believe? What do I believe about challenges? When I go through something hard, or whether that's physically like a hard workout, or you go through something very emotionally draining or just really hard in your life, how do you come out of that situation? Do you leave that situation with bitterness and resentment? Or do you come out of it like, wow, that was tough, but I am so much stronger. I grew so much from that. And what do you believe about yourself with capability? Do you believe that you are capable? Those are the things that we need to think about in what we believe. Now, because of that, our mindset, it just matters so much. Now, I know this is Friday and it's a busy, end of the week. So thank you so much for watching this. I know every time and ounce of your time throughout the week is so precious. So if you watch this today, what I'd like you to do is then take some time this weekend, just get alone and get a journal, piece of paper, scrap piece of paper, whatever, and take some time to analyze and audit your thoughts. And to just go through, what do I tell myself? What do I think about? First of all, how do I talk to myself? Do I talk to myself in the same manner that I would talk to my best friend or my child or just someone I care about? Or am I like really negative to myself? Am I trash talking myself or putting myself down? Think about how you're thinking about yourself and what are we allowing into that real estate. I'm going to give a few examples of how we can do that, just a few little things that we can analyze, because ultimately these thoughts have so much significance as it will ultimately dictate our life and where we're going. So number one, a few things you can think about is, do I say a lot of shoulds and ought tos? Like, I should be able to do this by now, right? Like, it's been so long, I should have gotten this under control, or I ought to have been able to do that. So here are a few examples. You fill in the blank. I should have been able to get my life under control by now. It feels like I'm just running all the time and everything's chaotic and I just don't have anything under control. Or I should be able to get up in time for work and out the door and not look a total mess. Or I should be able to get my kids to school on time with a decent lunch, right? Or I should be able to run that 5K by now, or that 10K, or that marathon I always told myself I'd be able to do. Or I should have been able, or I ought to have been able to lose this weight. I've been talking about it for years. I know it's creeping up every year. I haven't done that. Why haven't I done that? I should be able to. Or I should be able to quit whatever it is that you feel has taken a hold of your life, whether that's alcohol, caffeine, sugar addiction, whatever that is. So all of these things that we tell ourselves are having a negative impact on us, and they're really they put us in a place where we feel stuck simply because of our language. So what I'm suggesting to you today is analyze it, and then I want you to add in one word. Very powerful. You might have heard of this before. It's not new. I did not make it up. But I want you to add at the end of your sentence the word yet. So for me, I cannot do a pull-up. So I'm going to say I cannot do a strict pull-up yet. So I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, and I coach other people how to do pull-ups. I know the drills, I know the technique, I know how to get somewhere if that's their goal, to be able to do a strict pull-up. But I can't do it myself yet. And so sometimes I get down on myself and say, like, who are you? Who do you think you are, coaching people something that you can't do yourself? But I got to reframe that and be like, I am on a journey. I'm not stuck. I'm not staying here. I'm going to be able to do a pull-up one day. I'm working towards that strength. And so I haven't done a pull-up yet. And so what is it for you? What are you going to put the word yet from? Because when we get stuck and we just keep saying, I can't do this, or I should be able to do this, then there's no forward action. And we want to turn our negative experiences into something productive, and that's going to move you forward towards the trajectory of your life that you want. Number 2, things that you can analyze in your thought life. And this one, I think we all are in this category. Do I blame other people or life circumstances? Do I complain, or do I make excuses? I'm guilty of this. So when we blame something or someone else for the problems in our life, or we make excuses, we then become a victim of our circumstances. And then I basically am telling myself there's nothing I can do about it because it's all on them. And instead, we need to reframe that situation and be empowered with the truth that we have choices. We always have a choice. And then we also have a responsibility in making those choices. We are not a victim. We are not stuck. We are capable of making choices. So first we need to look at whatever the situation is you're thinking of right now, and we need to make a list, and we separate what's in my control and what is out of my control. If it's in my control, is things like my reaction, how I'm going to choose my actions after that, my perspective, the habits I'm putting into my life, and the specific things, how I'm going to get through that situation. Things that are out of my control, that's the choices other people make. I can't control other people. It's their perspective. It's maybe the results. Maybe you're in a fitness competition and I can't dictate what everyone else's results are, so I can't dictate the leaderboard. That doesn't matter, but I'm going to put in my best effort. I can't choose or control the weather, deadlines, surprises, or even words that are spoken to me. Those are the things. So once we've made that list about what's in my control, what's not, then we can harness all of our energy into problem solving, what is controllable. Marie Forleo, I love that she says everything is figure outable. I love that. That's also a mantra I say to myself a lot. So if it's in your control, then we take initiative, be the boss, make it happen. If it's out of our control, it honestly does not deserve an ounce of energy or your time or your thoughts. So we get to just let it go. Thirdly, as we're going through this inventory and what are we thinking about, I want us to think about who is your audience of one. So my fitness company is called Audience of One because this is so important to me. We don't perform for a crowd. We don't perform for a large audience, and we don't perform or do things for other people. We don't need to compare ourselves to others. So we go back to the beginning. What is my belief system? What is the trajectory of my life? Where do I want to go? Who am I becoming? And then we take that and we narrow our focus. We then can put all of our energy into the purpose of your life and becoming the very best version of you. And that's how we take all of these things, that distractions and those negative thoughts, and we come in, what's in my control? Where am I headed? What am I really performing for? I don't like the word performing, but who is my audience of one? What is my purpose? And where am I going? And let's focus on that, and we just leave everything else to the side. So this week we are in this awesome gut reset challenge, and I wanted to share this mindset to go alongside of that, because our physical bodies are getting cleansed out, right? And I wanted us to also be mindful of our thoughts, and if necessary, clean out the junk in between our ears, and be really intentional about what we allow to have authority and influence in our life. So I want to just wish you like an awesome weekend. So have an awesome weekend. And if you feel comfortable, it is a vulnerable place, but if you want to comment after on this video about how this process has gone for you or any reflections that you've had, I would love to hear that. So please have an awesome weekend, and I look forward to any discussion and reflections. All right, take care. Bye-bye.